Greetings everyone and welcome back to Kadic Reviews. It's been a while. It's time for the return of the Tale of Souls and Swords, eternally retold. And yes, you have to do that whole entire line. And trust me, retold being the key word. SoulCalibur 6 undoes the continuities of SoulCalibur 2 through 5, choosing to do a canonical reboot of SoulCalibur 1 instead. This brings back all the classic cast members from Mitsunugi, Taki, Tom, Ivy, and of course Waldo, and of course Siegfried and Nightmare. All your old school favorites are back, even Terra, if you're willing to spend $5, that is. New to the cast is Geralt from Witcher, which he actually fits well in his combat style, fits perfectly into the world of magic and swords, evil and good. It's a perfect fit, plus he's kind of fun to play. But, as you see here, the main meat and potatoes is the Libra of Souls mode. In Libra of Souls, you create a character of your own device, and pick your own weapon. Well, not really your own, just one of the key weapons from all the other characters. And you go on your own quest to either gain SoulCalibur or Soul Edge. The decisions you make determine the ending you get through what they call the scales.
Let's get this fight. So you want to
scales of fate.
Okay,
Making good decisions tips you blue, or as they say azure, or turns you evil towards the evil sword.
You wish to
now, this mode takes more of its cues from both the original game, Soul Edge, in which SoulCalibur is technically a sequel of, and SoulCalibur 2's Weapon Master mode, with a little bit of free thrown in. In this mini RPG, you go around gathering weapons, experience, and gold as you're chasing down the two swords and the evil madman that wishes to control them both by use of astral figures. The cutscenes are done mostly with a lot of reading, which the text is good, by the way, and still images, but strangely, a few of these are voiced with fully voiced cutscenes, which makes the odd decision to not go voice acting all the way through a curious one, but it's obviously a cost-cutting measure. As far as the character creator goes, it's simple and accessible for any player to use, but also highly detailed and deep for those that want to dig in, which has already created some great creation, which now through the game's own separate creation suite outside of the mode, you can now share with the rest of the world your creations, and even show them off. It's something that the game's been missing since the creator's birth in SoulCalibur 3, and it's finally great to see it here. But Libra of Souls focuses mostly on subquests and grinding. Through doing subquests, you gain experience, well, any quest for that matter, but you'll be doing most of it through subquests that you'll find around the map through exploration, which you'll find gold to make those trips and make those buys. But also, be aware of your weapon level as well, as certain subquests will give you upgraded versions of the weapon of your choosing, or any weapon really, because you have access to the full gallery at a click. Now, also keep this in mind, if you're playing multiple Libra of Souls games, all your weapons carry over from one character to another. So if you do it a second time to experience what you missed or go the alternate pathways, knowing this might make your second trip through it a little easier, especially in the early parts. But beware not to punch up too heavy above your character's weapon or weapon level, because if you do, the AI will punish you egregiously with big health losses and repeated losses and repeated retries. But yes, you can use food, which gives you stat ups, to even the playing field, or even mercenaries, which are viable copies of other players' creator characters to give you a temporary aid and a tag team partner. But these are only per match upgrades. So if you want a lot of mercenaries, you have to spend a lot of in-game gold. In-game gold can also be traded in for soul points, which are the unlocked stuff currency in the game, from pictures in the gallery to music and so on, and even a few custom character outfit pieces. You can use soul points to unlock them all, and even use your leftover gold to get them in bulk. The mode is fun and somewhat addicting, with very interesting subquests with their own miniature story. Every piece of it works together, and there is a more active tutorial at the very beginning, but be careful, you might miss out. But the grindy nature and somewhat rubber bandish AI might tick you off at times, but by and large, it's a good mode. But not the only mode the game serves up. There's a second single-player mode called Soul Chronicle that focuses on the actual cast of the game and their stories. But in order to fully complete the timeline of all the characters, you must complete some subquests with them within Libra for their side stories to unlock, so keep that in mind. So it's best to look at the two modes as two modes separated slightly, but all joined together as one linked whole, giving you plenty of single-player content. I've played more than a day's worth so far, close to 27 hours, and still haven't put it down. It's one of those good grinds. It's aided by the game's excellent gameplay, which I'll get into in a second. Classic SoulCalibur speed with some new tricks, and all of it for the better. gameplay plays a lot like SoulCalibur 2, with fast and simple combos that are easy to pull off, and a lot of the characters' classic movesets return in kind. But not everything is old. A few new add-ons have been added to the mix, like the brand new critical edges, which are pretty much one-button super moves. But these are the most fantastical and theatrically impressive moves in the SoulCalibur series, each with their own style that fits each character perfectly and heavy damage the match. But it's not to say the camera work isn't excellent all around, seeing that the camera follows each opponent perfectly with enough speed where the flow of battle can be shown. The second thing, on top of the traditional parries and guard impacts, is the reversal edge. With the reversal edge, using one button gun, you can clash and parry an opponent's attack by blocking and countering. But after that, it starts a rock, paper, scissors style battle system, in which if you win, you can gain heavy influence to your soul gauge, the thing on the top of your screen near the clock. With that, you can gain the aforementioned critical edges, or you can do a soul charge by pressing back and the critical edge button, usually right trigger for Xboxers. With this, you can power up your attack speed, power, and even in some cases, depending on your character, movement speed to give you a temporary edge in battle. It also acts as a pseudo combo breaker if you know how to use it correctly. These change the game significantly and add a little bit more strategy, but they're not so complicated that it becomes hard to use. Yeah, some people online will spam the heck out of reversal edges, but if you know how to counter it, plus win the battles, it won't be too much of a hindrance, considering that the 8-way run that has made SoulCalibur famous is back in full force, as well as its vertical, horizontal, kick, guard, basic combat system as well.
You have yet to recover
but
from
also,
your injuries.
the online netcode is almost nearly perfect at times.
Where it always.
With connections being fast, smooth, and balanced. Each character you have to rise up the ranks through their own ranking system, which encourages a flexible play. Although you can't choose randomly the character you bring in online, so make sure you know who you're going with before you do. Plus, there are plenty of unlocks, excellent orchestral scores and music, let alone the backgrounds are gorgeous looking, some of them with actual day-night cycles. But one of the things you might find critical is the size of the rings. The size of your actual combat space are smaller than in most other SoulCalibur games. Ring outs can be frequent and can be as simple as a combo or a jump away, so be careful about that. Plus, as of this recording, there is a game-breaking glitch I hear with Voldo going around, so be careful not to use it. or you might be
How
labeled as a
had
cheater.
pulled Kadic back from the brink of insanity. How
By and
Kadic had
large,
the ability to absorb power,
on top of
and
a
how it was
standard
falling under an
arcade
evil
mode,
spell.
time attack modes and survival modes, as well as your
Finally,
standard
he told
training
Kadic
mode.
about
SoulCalibur
Soul
6 does play it largely
Edge. Your fate
safe
will
in
be
most
set in
parts,
stone the
but
moment
its
you
main
use
new
your will
additions to
live.
its gameplay
Your
flow,
soul will be
the
swallowed
excellent
whole by
camera
your
work,
destiny,
flashy
leaving behind
visuals,
but a rotten
and
corpse. That is but one
easy
path
to
you may
understand but hard to
perhaps
master
it is the
nuances of
path
its
you
combat
wish to take,
make it
to
one of the
submit to
most
that evil
fast,
sword and its
fluid,
wicked
and
power. Is
enjoyable
that what you
fighting
wish
game experiences
to
you can
become a
find on the
thrall?
market, with
Do you
modes
see?
for just about
All
any type
is
of
in your
player,
hands.
single player or multiplayer alike, with friends or without.
She told me
And also the creativity of the creation suite will keep players creating and coming back.
From that day forth,
Naturally,
Kadic bore
the
heavy weight of
paid
his karma,
DLC
the
add-on of
Shanglen
Terra
Slayer,
might have
and the
some
last living member
SoulCalibur
of Ling Shangsu.
veterans
He chose to face his cruel fate
hissing, but
head
it's
on.
only $5. With the addition of 2B being recently announced from Nier Automata, it looks like the character list could be very eccentric come game's end. The only real negatives that I can disposit is the frequency of load times and the fact that load times are a little long, even on the Xbox One X. But hey, what you gonna do? And plus the grindy nature of both Soul Chronicle and Libra of Souls might be less to be desired, but trust me, just as a pure fighting game aspect, the game is excellent, one of the better ones on the market, not only to play, but even to watch. So it's been well worth it, the wait that is, most certainly, and this rating is well worth it. I fall in line with the other reviews of the game and give this game a 9 out of 10. SoulCalibur 6 won't be for everybody, but trust me, it tries. With enough single player content, great multiplayer netcode, and one of the deepest and fun create suites on the market, SoulCalibur may appeal to one of these sides. Outside of loading times and the grindy nature of its single player campaign might throw you off, as well as trying to learn, but it's easy to learn and hard to master. So what are your viewpoints on SoulCalibur 6? Tell me down in the comment section below, and until next time, find peace in your own nirvana.
In a remote corner of
And
lands to the
yes,
east,
the
there is a village of
character
wind worshippers who live in
selection
harmony with
is
nature.
short
Talon was
at
born into a
only
family of
22,
shamans and raised as
but
the
to
last
me,
priestess of the
smaller
winds
is
amid
better.
the encroaching Western
So
civilization
I'll
that
see you
threatened
next
their way of
time
life.
when
Due to her
we
great
go a little
sensitivity to the spirit
retro.
world, Talon was heavily affected
What
by
am
the
I
evil
talking
seed
about?
and nearly died.
You'll find
As
out
time passed,
soon enough.
Westerners began to visit her village, and one happened to bring with him a certain metal shard. The elders who saw this vitality charm instantly realized it was dangerous, for it was a shard of the cursed sword, Soul Edge.
Such an evil aura. This must have come from beyond the currents of the winds.
It is far from where it belongs.
It could end up influencing those nearby, altering their destinies.
Long ago, I sensed an aura just like